What if we could use social media as a pathway to miracles, self-discovery, and a place to face our shadows? That's exactly the exploration of today's conversation with CARO AREVALO, who you may know from her own YouTube channel and her beautiful art. This is a continuation of a series where we explore using social media, and in particular TikTok and Instagram Reels and overall short form video content as a pathway to miracles. So if you want to catch up, then listen to Funded by Source, episode 164. This was the first part of the conversation, and this is the second part of the conversation after I gave Caro some homework and have guided her into stepping into the world of TikTok after establishing her presence on YouTube and Instagram. So if you want to be inspired in trying out new content formats and seeing social media from a whole other perspective that feels playful, expansive, and supportive, then you're going to love this episode. You can listen to the audio format of it on Apple and Spotify and wherever you listen to podcasts. Find it by searching Funded by Source. And if you want to see more of the video format of the podcast, then make sure you subscribe, you comment under this video so that I know to create more of these. Have a blessed day and enjoy this conversation with CARO AREVALO. So what is the breakthrough that you've had with TikTok?
There's been a bunch of them. The first one actually came to me either the same day we had our last mentorship or the day after. I started thinking, the last time we talked, we were talking about which brands I felt called and I really want to work with. And I was actually painting while I had this breakthrough come to me, and I realized I was just thinking pretty small. Not that I wouldn't like to work with the brands that I mentioned. I would love to partner up with them. But it really made me realize that for the longest time, I've been separating and making a difference in between my work as an artist and my work as a content creator. And what I mean by that is I was only seeing TikTok as a platform to get money revenue, so I can make more art, instead of actually realizing, and this is what I wrote down, my goals for 2021 could also be amplified through TikTok content. So as this is something that I've shared with you before, one of my biggest dreams as a human and as an artist is to start working with a microscope and start bringing these around the world. So I realized that the brands that I really want to partner up with are Nat Geo, NASA, Amazon Watch, and Canon. Because I just realized on one side, I love sharing my rituals and my daily life and behind the scenes, but I also want to use the short video content as videos where I show stuff under the microscope and I teach about what I'm learning about the fungi kingdom and the plant kingdom. So I'm just very excited to see how that will shift from, yes, I will be sharing my daily cacao ritual, which I believe it's so important to share and I really feel called to do it. But I also want to share views of under the microscope creations. And I realized that TikTok can be the place where I do this. And not only TikTok, but short content videos, because I still feel shy to make a 15-minute video of under the microscope and talking about fungi. And this is where I jump into TikTok, and this experiment that we are doing together has started me showing a lot of shadows that I'm ready to start seeing and a lot of things that I'm ready to start shifting in my spiritual practice or my own way of perceiving myself. Sometimes I ask myself, like, why are you even doing this? You're not a biologist. You're not a scientist. Why are you even using a microscope? So I love living by the concept of think big, act small, and I would love to start making 15-second videos. Maybe that will be the bridge to later make 15-minute videos. So this just really got me super excited.
This is big. And when we talk about the energetics of social media and how we express ourselves, like this is exactly it. There's always so much more than what's on the surface. People might think, I'm not posting there because of this, or I'm not sure where to start. But when we look deeper, like you did, there is so many dormant stories and reasons that might be holding us back. And the beauty of looking at them is that you get to connect to your bigger vision and to your bigger purpose.
It really makes me feel that whenever I block something and I don't want to do something, most of the times it's because I'm afraid to see something that I could heal within myself. So I'm glad that this is making me realize I'm actually ready to start facing those fears. And I don't want to act from a place of fear. I want to act from a place of love. And today I shared my TikTok account with my YouTube followers, and I was ashamed to do that, but I just did a little post, and I feel ready. Why feel ashamed? It's my process, and I'm happy to share the imperfectness of learning. I I hope this can bring others the inspiration to see that it's fine to show ourselves when we are learning and not when we are like 100% perfect.
Yeah, I'm so with you. We're very similar in that way. I want things to be complete before I share with people. And that's one of the reasons why the things that I've done that have been successful, I started as anonymous, both Breakfast Criminals account and my TikTok account. When I first started, I wouldn't really tell people about them. I would just do and feel this immense freedom. So the question I keep carrying with me now that people can find me is, how can we carry on that freedom into everything we do, no matter what others think about it or comment? And I'm currently listening to Seth Godin's book, The Practice. And honestly, that has been the biggest
Mm-hmm.
help for my TikTok mindset ever. Because with TikTok, with any social media, as you know, it's waves. Sometimes you'll ride the wave and it goes really high, something goes viral, and all these brands are reaching out, you're getting all this revenue from views. And then for a month or however long, your views might be very low, and the comments are not so uh, positive or abundant, whatever that is. It takes so many expressions, and it's so easy to make up stories
Right.
about that, defining the value of us, of our work, of everything that we do. I know for me, it's really easy to do that and start looking for my value in those external factors. And I think it's an ongoing conversation to be had in the age of social media for everyone, because it's relevant for everyone. And so what Seth Godin talks about is putting the practice first. So the practice of showing up to do your art, whether you feel like it or not, whether people say good things about it or bad things, you just choose something, you commit to it, you show up and you do it. And that reminder has been so powerful, because in my own TikTok views, I've seen them go really high up. Things go viral and then they go down and then they go up and then they go down. And one of my goals actually for 2021 is to focus on quality of my community and my connection with them versus quantity, because I've built some really big communities, but some of them are not even interested in the things I'm truly wanting to share and I'm getting courage to share. So I'd
Right.
rather they unfollow if it doesn't resonate with them. And I'd rather have fully aligned beings who want to be on this journey with me fully. So, one of the ways that I'm doing the practice is, instead of only paying attention to the stats and seeing what goes viral and doing more of that, how can I just really go deep within and see, okay, what's making me feel alive? What do I want to talk about? What's my practice? And continue making content like that. So in preparation for our apartment therapy tour shot, I have been filming little mini humorous tours of the house. I'm pretending to be Eric. Eric pretends to be me. I just had this idea. It came to me. I was like, I need to film this now. Like, the house is not ready. I don't care. I'm filming this humorous thing now. I'm posting it on TikTok. And it didn't pick up yet, but with TikTok, as we know, sometimes it can take a month to pick up or however long. The algorithm is unpredictable that way. It hasn't had huge resonance yet, but it has had such a resonance in me, and it has had such value for my own creation process. It's given me more confidence to be on camera. So I think it's so important to honor what it brings us on our journey, not only what it brings others and how it performs. What I've also noticed is that sometimes there's a TikTok video I made about Eric before he met me and after he met me, how he went from a crazy city boy to this country builder guy with a beard. And on TikTok, it was like, okay, 6,000 views with an account that has 350,000 followers, not a lot. And then I posted it on Instagram Reels yesterday. And overnight, it's not even been 24 hours, it's 10,000 views, it's so many comments, it's new followers. So sometimes it's also just a matter of the right time and the right platform.
Right. I love that you're sharing this, because this is something that I was also writing down on my TikTok journal. Because I realized that when I've only posted 2 videos up until today, and when I posted the first 2 videos, I got like 2 views and 2 likes, and I was still in 2 followers, and that started showing up for me. I started realizing that I was fearing the silence, like having no movement in the account whatsoever.
Totally normal.
And that's when I wrote down, so I can remember, am I doing this for validation, or am I doing this to have fun and as a journey of self-discovery, both as a person and in my artwork? Because I remember when we were looking for an apartment, and you go, you see it, and that's not the one. But instead of being sad about it, I realized every apartment that is a no is an apartment closer to the one that is the right one. So if a video doesn't pick up, what did I learn from it? What did I pick up from making it, editing it, putting it out there? And how will that impact my next video? So I'm trying to stay in that state of mind, because who cares if it's 2 people or 1 million? If it's resonating with one person and inspiring just one person, even if that person is myself, that's good enough.
I love what you said. If the video doesn't get picked up by the algorithm, what did I pick up from it?
Right, yeah.
I'm writing down. There's so many good golden nuggets here you're sharing. And Seth Godin also talks about how if your art, your work, what you have to share will make a difference for at least one person, it's selfish not to share. So
Yes.
I know that you have raving fans on YouTube, on Instagram, and you not sharing it with them is selfish.
Yeah, I hear that. And actually, next week, I'm dropping a video that is about just doing whatever dream you have. And I finished editing that last week. And something that I talked about in the video is the world needs you to do that dream that you have, because you are the only one that can bring it forth. So do it for yourself, but do it for all of us. We, as your worldwide community, need you to step up and take your own space and really believe in your dream, because I couldn't be doing what you are doing, and you couldn't be doing what I'm doing. We could only do what we can bring to the world. So it's so selfish not to really do it. I love that. I need to read this book.
For tracking purposes, how many posts do you have so far, and how many followers do you have so far? And what's your most viewed video?
I have 2 videos, and they both have 2 views, and I believe I have 5 followers right now. And I also love the drafts, so I already have 2 drafted videos. This is something that I would love to touch base on. I was thinking of just dropping 1 video each day and keep on making them and keep on saving them on drafts. But today I realized that, everything going on in the States and the Capitol and all of that, I said, okay, today I'll refrain from posting my video. I'll just do it tomorrow. And that's something that I don't really know how to dance with that yet, because I know that people's minds are elsewhere right now. They are very into the politics realm, and I'm still like trying to understand what is my relationship with posting. If I'm not posting anything political, do I want to post when the world is just looking at another thing, or do I want to like refrain myself from doing that? And that's a question that I've been asking myself, and I don't really have an answer to it yet. And I'm not trying for you to have an answer for it either, because it's a very tricky one. So yeah, that's just something that has been on my mind this morning for sure.
I definitely think about this a lot as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's a very personal choice. My personal perspective on it is to tune into our energy and see what we're being called to do. Sometimes it's to be silent and put our energy elsewhere. And sometimes it's actually to share more
Mm-hmm.
as an act of prayer, because your art is a prayer, and it does give people the chance to connect deeper with nature and with themselves. And when else do we need a prayer more than tumultuous times, you know?
I love that. Now I'm quoting you. I'm writing down that quote. Yes, yes to all of that. I 100% agree.
So I've noticed that you haven't yet cross-posted your TikToks to Instagram Reels. Talk to me about that.
I I want to do that, and I didn't really know. So the first video that I posted on TikTok says, "Hey TikTok, it's me, Caro." And I wanted to see if there's a way to put, "Hey Instagram, it's me, Caro," and then just change it. But maybe I don't even need to change it. I can just put it like that and share that I opened the TikTok, because yeah,
Exactly.
that just came to me while answering you. Yeah, that's the only reason why I haven't done that. But I'm super excited to take on Reels as well.
So when will you do that?
I think I'll start tomorrow.
Okay.
And something that has also been in my mind about this is, oh, it just slipped my mind. It will come back to me. So that's where I'm at. I've also been realizing that you can choose music. I've been playing a little with just cutting the wording with a frame, and every time there's like a very big bump in the song, just put a new frame. So making the wording, the images, and the music match, so it also feels more connected. That's something that I've been loving and playing around with the TikTok videos. And I've already found some sounds that I really want to make content for. And I also just remembered, I know that last week my homework was to make videos where I show stuff related to each of the brands that I mentioned. And I didn't, because we were in the middle of moving and I didn't have my art supply, so I could do like a art related video. But now that I do, there's no excuse, and I'm super ready to do those.
How did those fit in with the bigger vision of Net Geo, NASA, Canon?
I feel that I'll start the TikTok with everything that I've been sharing so far, which is more of my art in the day-to-day life and lifestyle, which at the end of the day also speak about being in love with the planet. And while I keep on sharing those, I'll start playing around with my microscope. I'll start making some videos out of it, and then I'll start little by little transitioning. I'm still not sure, because this is such a new idea. I'm not sure if I'll only be posting microscopic looks. I don't think I'll do that, because I love sharing my life and my world as well. So I think it'll just be a little of everything. Some days it's more in the outer world of how my day-to-day life looks, and some days it will be more in my inner world of how my art grows and comes from looking at nature.
And how are you finding balance between consuming and posting on TikTok?
I haven't, so the first week that I downloaded the app, I was engaging a lot with content until I realized that now every time that I go to home, most of the content is already curated for the things that I'm interested on. And now I'm not really spending a lot of time consuming. I actually think I am learning how to start consuming more because usually I don't consume anything. And it's been so interesting to also learn to take a step back and appreciate the content others are making instead of just focusing on what am I bringing next, because sometimes I get too caught on working and making and creating instead of actually just sitting down and enjoying. And this doesn't only go for social media, but while we were in this Airbnb, I one day Ivo and I were drinking champagne, watching a TV show, and I just put a pause and I realized this might be the first time that I'm doing this in 8 years. I never watch TV and have a drink. I usually never drink either. So it was just like, is this what people do in their day-to-day life? Like, this is such a new world for me. And Eva was like, yep, welcome to to normal day-to-day. So it's just also wonderful to not take my work and my spirituality as serious as I do. For some reason, I just tend to do that.
I love that. And I totally can relate to that. I remember a couple of years ago, my friend Ashley Wood did an Akashic Records reading for me. And back then I was like very deeply into cacao and spiritual rituals and like crystals, was so serious about it. And she told me that I need to take a break from all of my practice and work and go and watch a TV show. And I was like, TV show? But that's not spiritual. I can't sit on a couch and watch TV, it's not what I do. Like if I have a spare moment, I'll work on my business or like meditate, whatever that is. And I remember at some point when I was ready, I did. And my life changed. I started experiencing more human little joys with a lot more open mind. And sometimes it will give me direct inspiration for my creative work in terms of how directors shoot certain things or storytelling, and sometimes it's just emptying my brain, and I find it to be really helpful to be human sometimes.
It is, and there's definitely a wonderful in between point, like a bridge in between TV shows and spirituality. You just made me think about the show that Duncan Trussell released last year in Netflix, Midnight Gospel. Have you seen it? You are going to love it. The images are just like crazy cartoons going nonstop, but Duncan Trussell has a podcast, and most of the talks are talks from his podcast. So even Ramdas is in the TV series. So it has a beautiful message with very entertaining visuals. And it was such a dream to, sit in a couch and watch a TV show while also learning about, I don't know, the Tibetan perspective of life.
I'm so on the same page with you. It's crazy because sometimes I think that the most profound spiritual teachings are sometimes the most come in the most unspiritual form. Like sometimes I look at different expressions of human beings that aren't spiritual at all, and I'm like, they're probably the Jedi, the master in disguise, and they're just pretending to be human just so that other humans are open-minded about listening to them.
Yes, and that's a beautiful thing that you said, because I feel that sometimes a lot of people can reject their messages if they see them as too spiritual. But then again, if you're doing a TV show or doing whatever that seems more mundane, quote unquote, a lot of more people can be drawn to it. And that's something that I also love about social media. And, I love aesthetics, you love aesthetics, and some people might be drawn to your content because of your beautiful tiny cabin and then stay for all your spiritual insights content. So it's wonderful how we can let ourselves be everything. I love fashion, you love fashion, and it's so wonderful to just let ourselves play all this all these beautiful different roles that we can play. My friend Koa Micaela, which is also part of the Rituals Around Creativity course, she's a medicine woman, but she's also pretty much a professional twerker, you know. So I love how she invites both aspects of her to her whatever she shares with the world. She's not only sharing one of them, she's sharing both. So I love how I believe we're past the era of labels of just spiritual, just mundane, just this. I'm just in a personal journey of learning that and permitting that on myself.
Ooh, this is so powerful. I feel like this podcast conversation series is going well beyond TikTok and Instagram Reels. This just needs to stand on its own because this is so present for me, and I'm sure for so many people.
Well, I recently listened to your end of year episode, and one of your podcast interviewers was mentioning about social media as a place to work on your shadows. And that resonates so much because it's not the tool, it's what we permit ourselves to do with that tool.
Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, I have a bold assignment for you.
Okay.
Let me know if it feels aligned.
Okay.
So, you've shared with me your dream about going to Peru with kids with microscopes and, being that bridge between plant medicine wisdom and the joy and curiosity of kids. What if you share that dream in a TikTok video?
Yes. So much yes.
I've seen miracles happen on TikTok. Seriously, what people feel when it's something that comes deep from the heart. And I've seen so many things where people just boldly share their dream, actually receive the support and the connections they need to manifest. It's really incredible. And I think also, no matter what the outcome is of you sharing it, just stating it and creating that commitment, it just will add that special crystal to the foundation of how you show up on there and beyond.
Yes, yes, yes. I love this. And this is something that I was also thinking since we moved. Sometimes as we were talking earlier today, I am too drawn into, oh, I only want to show things when they're perfect. And this time around, I've been making some content that I haven't shared yet, but I filmed the whole process of the empty apartment, the boxes, the chaos now starting to look prettier. And I will share that when a year ago I would have never shared that. I would have only shared the finished, beautiful Pinterest version of it. So I feel very called to start sharing and doing storytelling since day one, and not only from okay, now it's perfect, So this feels amazing, especially because this is my long life dream, and what better to share that. And now talking a little bit of strategy, I believe that it's also such a beautiful strategy to, let's say I post this video on TikTok and then I can mention either on other platforms, YouTube, Instagram, whatever, saying, hey, I just dropped my biggest vision and my biggest dream for the first time on TikTok, go see that. And I never do that. So I'm so excited to start doing those. Like tomorrow I'm posting a video on YouTube and I'm actually dropping a big bomb on the last minute of the video. I think you already know it. It's that I gave away all my plants. And that's something that I haven't shared with anyone in the socials yet. And I dropped that bomb in the last video, in the last minute of the video. And of course, then I will share like regrowing my plant jungle and whatnot. But it's so interesting because I never permit myself to be like, okay, dropping the bomb in the last minute. I don't know. That's just a new game that I'm feeling very called to play.
I love that. I think using techniques to amplify our messages takes a level of open-mindedness and dropping labels. I used to think that, turning to hacks and tricks and tools like that is very superficial. And I think we can take the top things that we know work and do them tastefully in a way that works for us when we're ready. And I think it's super fun to take all the different universes we have across the internet and create those webs to allow people to jump from one thing to the other. And I love doing that, saying, okay, I just dropped it there.
You have been a very big inspiration for that for sure, but now I'm seeing it not. I was afraid of doing it myself because I felt, oh, everyone's going to think I'm now just doing clickbait. But now I feel there's so many more layers to it, and it's not sharing fake news. Like, let's say I'm dropping that bomb of, hey, I gave away all my plants and it sucked, but it also taught me a lot. And then yesterday, Evo brought home this beautiful fiddle leaf tree. And the minute he brought it in, I started crying and hugging the tree, So I really feel it very deeply. It's not like I'm like drawing people mistakenly to think that this is important. It actually is very important for me.
I think, people love mystery and people love being taken on a journey. So as long as you're having fun along the way, I think there can be this game component that helps your content be more discoverable, and give people the chance to have fun along the way and play with you.
Yes, and I'm also seeing it as whenever we are taking people on a journey with us, I also felt blocked to do that before because I felt no one will care, no one will follow the story, and that's speaking of me still having to peel a layer of unworthiness. So it's so beautiful to say, you know what, I'm going to share this story, and it doesn't matter if one person or 1,000 or more are here. I really just want to share this. So, yes.
And it's like pieces of the puzzle. Some pieces will make no sense on their own, but then all together it just comes magically.
Yes, yes.
I love that. So what's next? I love the idea of posting daily. If you have enough drafts, why not? At least give it a try. Love the idea of sharing your dream and sharing your TikTok with your other communities, sending people over there. Is there something else that has been coming through in your meditations or dreams or cacao ritual that has been wanting to come through this new platform?
Yes, I really want to experiment with. So, one of the fears that I had about TikTok is how am I doing slow living content in 15 seconds? And that was a blockage for me. So, I also really want to experiment with doing 15 or a minute long videos that are transmitting that peacefulness and groundness and slow paced living in little time. So that is something that I'm very drawn to doing as well. And yeah, instead of putting 11 frames in one video, I want to try and also do 2 shots in one video or 1 shot at regular velocity. So that's something that I will also be playing around with now that we have a home.
I love that. Yes. So is there anything else that you want reflections on or have questions on?
I think that's pretty much it for right now. I haven't shared any videos with voice off yet. And that's something that I also really want to try. Voiceover? Yes. And yeah, I think that's everything that's been coming up for now.
Okay, so practicing slow-paced video, trying a voiceover, sharing your dream, cross-promoting, and posting on Reels.
Yes.
And trying to post, I don't like saying trying. Yoda says you do it or you don't. There's no trying.
That's right.
Give a go to daily posting on TikTok and just continue playing. Remembering those pieces of the puzzle, how they all come together, both for your creative process and for those who are meant to be touched by it.
Absolutely. I feel so honored to be able to have this one-to-one conversations with you, because I know I would have stopped myself of doing this so many times along the way, but just having you on the other side of the screen has made it so much easier and so much playful. Like, every time that we end the call, I feel, and even in the call, I feel so inspired, and I love how a lot more downloads keep on coming. So I don't know where we will be posting all of this content that we've been making from these calls, but whoever's listening to these, take this course. Take the course Ksenia is making. I cannot, like, I put my hands on fire for you. It's been so wonderful. I feel so honored, really.
I feel so honored to be working with you because you're so self-aware. If you notice, I'm sort of just creating the frame and guiding the conversation, but all the answers are within you being present to listen to what's coming forth for you and being willing to get playful and put yourself out there. It's all you.
That's why community is so important, because if you wouldn't be the one holding the space for me, I wouldn't be able to see this myself, So it's so beautiful how we can all just empower each other all the time, not only through spirituality, but through social media and making money and all of it. It's just, I love how it all comes back to full circle.
Oh, cheers to that. I love that. I wasn't feeling the cacao before, and now I am. I'm going to stop recording here so I can take a last, because I forgot to do that last time.
I would love to make a few, whatever it is, just content to drive people to your site, because I'm on the other side, and I can tell you that this is right. This is totally right. And I know that each person is in a different journey and everyone needs different things, but you've been such an amazing space holder and advisor and mentor in so many ways, not only during these one-on-one calls, but also just seeing everything that you're putting out there. It all comes full circle. So yes.
Ooh, thank you so much. You're like a little angel that the divine sent to remind me. Thank you.